If you are looking for the best DSLR cameras 2024, well, you're in the right place. We've dug deep and conducted extensive research, and now we're breaking down the absolute best DSLR cameras 2024. We're talking about the perfect balance between price and performance, tailored for different scenarios. If you're eager to find out which suits you best, don't go anywhere. Stick around till the end because we've got all the links for the best prices in the description below. No specific order, just the top contenders in the game. Ready to dive into the world of best DSLR cameras 2024? Let's get started. Number 5, Canon EOS 1DX Mark III, the best DSLR for sports photographers. Canon's final flagship DSLR is a fitting swan song. Designed for professionals who need speed, performance, and image quality in a sturdy package, the 1DX Mark III pretty much covers it all. In our tests, we were extremely impressed with the 1DX Mark III's capabilities. Its rugged build feels solid enough to survive a war zone, and while it's a big camera, we appreciated its ergonomics during our review. We also found it a camera that could handle any situation. Sports, wildlife, or front-page action, its performance was never in doubt. With a fast processor, deep buffer, and rapid 20 FPS burst speeds, this is a camera that doesn't compromise. That's equally true of the AF system, which uses deep learning to enhance precision. Its video prowess is handy too, with 4K 60p capture available. Stacked to the hilt with features and power, it's probably overkill for the average photographer, especially considering its expensive price tag. Yet it's also a truly impressive DSLR that represents a worth investment for professionals. Canon has squeezed every last drop of performance there is to be had from the EOS 1DX Mark III. Everything has been poked and prodded with the result that the company's new EOS D flagship is truly impressive. It's feature-packed to the rafters, from a new smart controller to a super fast and precise autofocus system. There's even support for a new file type, and so much more to unpack. Chances are you'll want it, even if you don't need it. It might seem like a strange admission, but as we gear up for a future in interchangeable lens cameras that appears to be mirrorless, the best thing on the planet right now is a DSLR. Being a DSLR, it's significantly bigger than, say, Sony's A9 II, but the EOS 1DX Mark III wears its bulk well, and the reflex mirror certainly isn't holding it back in terms of speed. Number 4, Nikon D850, the best professional DSLR for image quality. It's hard to think of another DSLR that wows like the D850 does, even after several years on the market. It's on the pricey side for sure, but this is justified by the things we discovered in our tests, including excellent image quality, bags of features, and a rugged, weather-resistant magnesium alloy body. The 45mm sensor is still one of the highest in terms of resolution in any DSLR, while the 7 FPS burst mode is unusually high for a camera with such a sensor. Add to that a cracking AF system, wonderful handling, and great 4K video, and its versatility should be easy to appreciate. Like the sound of the D850 but want to go mirrorless. Well, while not strictly a mirrorless version of the D850, Nikon's newer Z7 mirrorless camera shares the same 45mm resolution as the D850, but features some clever tech of its own, including an all-new lens mount. Recent mirrorless flagships may trump it for power and video performance, but the Nikon D850 remains one of the best DSLRs that photographers can buy. Whether you're shooting weddings, landscapes, portraits, action, or wildlife, the D850 won't leave you wanting. Combining impressive performance with a bomb-proof build, it's rightly regarded as a modern classic. While the D810 retained the same 36.3mm resolution as the groundbreaking Nikon D800 D800E, it was later eclipsed by both the 50.6mm Canon EOS 5DS and 42.2mm Sony Alpha A7R II. The D850, though, got an all-new 45.7mm full-frame back-illuminated sensor, BSI, which was a hefty increase in pixels over the D810, and only marginally behind the 5DS. Thanks to the light-collecting elements being closer to the surface of the sensor, the BSI design should deliver better low-light performance than previous sensors. Just as we've seen with the D810, the D850 forgoes an anti-aliasing filter, which means even more detail can be eked out of the sensor, although there is the added risk of moire patterning. Number 3. Canon EOS 5D Mark IV, the best flagship DSLR camera. The Canon EOS 5D Mark IV tweaks and improves on almost everything before it, with a 30.4MP sensor and advanced 61-point AF system, together with 4K video recording, all of which performed well in our real-world tests. With a 5D Mark V successor essentially ruled out by Canon, the Mark IV will continue to be one of the most compelling DSLRs at this price point. Its 4K video options are a little limited, with the frame rate topping out at 30 FPS and no options to shoot in a flat gamma profile. But if you're mainly looking for a powerful DSLR for stills photography, the EOS 5D Mark IV remains a surprisingly modern proposition considering its age. and the fact that you can still buy it new is a testament to its popularity. The 5D Mark IV is also using the same latest generation sensor technology that we've seen in both the 1DX Mark II and 80D, with on-chip digital to analog conversion, which should deliver improved noise performance as well as broader dynamic range. That's not the whole story as far as image quality goes, though, with the arrival of dual pixel RAW technology giving photographers the capacity to fine-tune the area of maximum sharpness. With each pixel made up of 2 photodiodes, it allows for the creation of a file which contains a pair of images with 2 very slightly different focus points. You can then open the file in Canon's Digital Photo Professional software and use image micro-adjustment to shift the focus ever so slightly. Not massively, but Canon believes there's the potential to rescue some shots using this technology. Impressive though this is, this expanded range is actually identical to the 5D Mark III's, although Canon reckons it has enhanced the noise processing algorithm for improved results at higher sensitivities, while it's also a stop more than one of this camera's closest competitors, the Nikon D810. Number 2. Nikon D780, the best full-frame hybrid DSLR. The D780 is effectively a hybrid of a full-frame DSLR and a mirrorless camera, like the original Nikon Z6. While it's still relatively expensive, the D780's slight price drop since it landed in 2020 means it's now our top pick for anyone who wants to combine the benefits of mirrorless tech and DSLRs. Our review revealed that the D780's image quality is among the best around, while its 4K video skills are boosted by the inclusion of modern features like face and eye detection. Building on the solid foundation laid by the D750, the D780 uses the same 273-point on-sensor phase detection AF system as the Z6, allowing it to focus rapidly when you're shooting via live view. If you prefer to frame through its optical viewfinder, you'll be able to make the most of its impressive 2000 to 260 shot battery life. As one of the latest DSLR, it's still quite pricey, but if that isn't an issue for you, then the D780 is one of the best full-frame all-rounders you can buy. We hear a lot of talk about the death of the DSLR and the unstoppable rise of mirrorless. But DSLRs remain the best choice for many photographers, particularly those who have existing lenses or honed their craft with optical viewfinders. And the D780 is one of the best full-frame options around. It combines great image quality, a weatherproof build, superb battery life, and modern autofocus skills. It's a shame there's no in-body image stabilization and it's currently pretty pricey, but the D780 is otherwise a superb all-round DSLR. The D780 has been designed to be a good all-rounder, appealing to a broad cross-section of photographers. Keen amateurs are perhaps the main target audience, but professionals who don't crave the huge resolution and unwieldy file sizes of the D850 may also find the D780 an enticing and more than capable option. Number 1. Nikon D3500, the best DSLR camera for most people. Nikon has discontinued the D3500, but you can still find it available online and secondhand. That's a good thing, because we think it's an ideal choice for beginners looking to sharpen their skills. Despite its age, the D3500 has a very capable APS-C sensor. To get the most out of it, we'd recommend buying the D3500 with the VR version of its kit lens, as this incorporates Nikon's image stabilization system at little extra cost. Nikon also has a vast catalog of DX system lenses, giving you plenty of choice when your skills advance enough to justify a glass upgrade. We think the Nikon D3500 is proof that you don't have to pay a fortune to get a great camera. In our tests, we found the images it produced were top-notch. We were also impressed by the camera's battery life and ease of handling. During our review, we praised the accessibility of controls for learners, as well as the guide mode, for the way it introduces novices to manual controls. While enthusiasts should look further down this list, in the right hands, the D3500 is a match for cameras that cost a lot more. It's now over 3 years old, but the Nikon D3500 remains the best DSLR around for beginners looking to embrace creative, manual photography with a traditional setup. Built around a solid core of great image quality, intuitive menus, and a superb battery life, the D3500 now offers impressive value too. Mirrorless rivals should also be considered, particularly if you need a touchscreen or 4K video. But Nikon's entry-level DSLR continues to fly the flag for the format by offering the kind of handling and value that mirrorless cameras struggle to match. The D3500 retains the same effective 24.2 pixel count as the old Nikon D3400, but uses a newer sensor, and closer inspection of the specs shows that the total count on the D3500 sensor stands at 24.78 pp, compared to 24.72 p on the D3400.